All right, and welcome to another morning run. River is booking it. He wants to get home and cool down. It is humid and misty. It's not even hot, but the humidity is really getting to us. And he rolled in the grass a couple times, and I've got my squirt gun. Gotta squirt him with water. I squirted him for the third and final time about a mile ago. And let's talk about Ironman Texas and Lionel Sanders. And then Hummingbird Fuels has new jerseys out. So Lionel Sanders, who's age grouper's hero, because he makes bad decisions like the rest of us. It's the only way I can think of what goes on with that guy. And he's decided to withdraw from Ironman Texas, the full Ironman held in the Woodlands near Houston, to focus on training for St. George and some other stuff, just to focus on training. Hold on, we got mud tires coming. And Ironman Texas is one of the hardest Ironmans, even though there's not much elevation gain at all. It is hot because of the humidity. We're right on the Gulf Coast. It is pretty brutal. I did it 5 years in a row because it was really close by. Sometimes we'd get a hotel, sometimes not. You know, just have a place to crash after. It's like an hour and a half drive from where I live. But the humidity and the heat would just murder everybody. And then the year that I decided not to do it, and I did an Ultraman, or maybe I waited a couple years at Ultraman instead. School bus wheels go round and round. They had a cold front come through mid-event, midday. And people were finishing in emergency blankets because it was so cold. Which, to say I was frustrated was an understatement, but that's just the way things go, you know. You never know what's going to happen on race day. Ironman Texas is guaranteed to be hot, except for the time. And then for the next two, I was like, well, that'll never happen again. And then it happened again and again. I think they moved up the date just a couple weeks or something. And that made it much more likely that a cold front might come through. It's not guaranteed at all. It'd be terrible, terrible heat. But anyway, a lot of people train in the Woodlands for Hawaii. I'll look at the heat index, which is the humidity plus the temperature. So what does it actually feel like here? And on some days, it is over 120 degrees. When you add high humidity plus high heat together, it is unbelievable. So I can't hate on them for that, you know. I mean, like, you can train and stuff like that without actually racing and stuff like that and just doing you in. There's another dog over there. He looks like you. He's a German Shepherd mix. Be cool, be cool, be cool. That's what we would look like if I was just walking. Except I'd be wearing shorts and flip-flops. He's all looking. He's like, Lionel Sanders is always trying to find himself. The only thing, everything about Lionel Sanders is great. I've actually met him in person and hung out with him for a little bit years ago. I like him a lot. Is every time he says what he's going to do, he says it with such authority, like he knows now. Now this is what I can do. And that's the thing, not just him, but we need to let go of. There's this awesome example in coding. I learned how to computer code before this command existed. So it's kind of like people that grew up before and then after the internet. I grew up before. I computer coded before and after the try command. So before try, whatever computer language you're using, you would say, do this. And if it failed, it crashed the whole program, sometimes crashed the whole computer, put it into a death loop, freeze everything up. You had to put in all this error handling. Yeah, let's make sure River doesn't try to jump this guy. Oh, good boy. You good? Half the time River's like, oh, that person's interesting. And then the other half of the time he's like, hey, I need to charge at him and go like, ah! But not bite them or anything, but just to see what they do. Like, River, no, that's not cool. You're scary looking to some people. Anyway, and then whatever language is first, if you say try to update this field, or try to combine these two things, or try this calculation, and then the error handling is kind of built in. And then if it fails, like you got to divide by 0 in there by accident, it doesn't go, ah, and send your computer into seizures and a coma. With no explanation of what happened. So, one of the things that Zen Buddhism teaches you is try things for yourself and see if they work. And keep what works. Don't keep what doesn't. But non-attachment. Don't get attached to whatever. And definitely don't think you know how things are going to work. It's a really good lesson. I need water. Let's see if River tries to assault the dog that lives here. Moose is his name. Appropriately named. He's got like 10, 15, 20 pounds on River. He's big. And he does not like River. They are not friends. Anyway, when I run, I carry 2 of these because it's so hot here. I carry 2 of these on a waist belt, and there's a water fountain halfway, almost halfway, and I top them off for the rest of the way, and then I got all the water I need to fill up a squirt gun and spray him. At the water fountain, I spray him too, so he's happy. Dogs get hot, they don't sweat, so they get really hot. You can give them artificial sweat. And then I carry a squirt gun and I squirt them. I fill it up with some water and squirt them, keep them cool. Anyway, and then my fuel, I do about 100, 150 calories because I am running 6 miles in a gel flask. This is an old GU gel flask. And been using, all right, bird, at the Hummingbird Fuels. Go check them out, hummingbirdfuels.com. But anyway, I saw a notice that they're making kit and jerseys. And I hadn't even seen one yet. I think I saw a preliminary design of what they're gonna look like. And of course they're gonna be bright and colorful, anything. So as we learn more, we'll check them out. But I'm 100% for bright kit, bright colored bike if you can. Bright helmet. One, it boosts your mood. And then two, especially your bike and your helmet. If it's something you're going to be using every time, you don't even have to think about it. You'll be more visible to cars. So I try to get a white bike and white helmet and try to stay away from dark. My Vast gravel bike's dark green because that was the only one that they had. Anyway, so this morning a kid, while we were filling up our water stuff at a water fountain, a kid rode by. It was really dark and he was wearing all black clothes and he's biking. He was huffing his way to high school. Hold on. And like you could not see him for anything. Black shorts, black just like, dude, come on, man. But they're just a kid. But what a tragic way to go. But he was on a white bike and wearing a white helmet. And a car came up and it lit him up. No reflectors or anything, just the white. It was really nice. It's also a good rule for cars. If you can. Cars are way better nowadays. A white car and then a gray car. And you want to be much less likely to be hit by another car. You get a bright colored car. And see, that car looks like pavement. You wouldn't even know it's there in the dark. All right, bye.